Do you have any idea what breakfast cereal's made of?
What do Bill and Ted, Green Slime, and C-3PO all have in common? Well, cereal, of course. These are the 20 greatest discontinued cereals of all time.
Because we've discontinued that.
Frute Brute.
You can eat Anna's cereal.
Frute Brute was a hugely popular member of the General Mills Monster cereals, alongside Count Chocula, Boo Berry, Frankenberry, and Yummy Mummy. The cereal featured lime-flavored marshmallows and a fruity flavor cereal. The werewolf-led cereal was hugely popular before disappearing from shelves. The cereal became a solid favorite, appearing in Tarantino classics Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. After being discontinued in 1982, the Fruity Yummy Mummy cereal appeared in its place from 1988 to 1992. But the Brute legacy endured and was consistently requested by Monster Mills fans. The cereal made a comeback for Halloween 2013 before disappearing again until Halloween season 2022, when it was available only in a 4-pack along with Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and Frankenberry.
Savor your cereal, you monster!
Nerd cereal.
I'd like to ask a few questions about this breakfast cereal.
The brightly colored, tangy candy Nerds had its very own cereal for a time. Introduced in 1985, the cereal was described as tiny, tangy, crunchy sweetened cereal, and even came in split bags of 2 different flavors, much like the candy box itself.
Heaven? Sounds like heaven?
The cereal came in 2 flavor combinations, orange and cherry and strawberry and grape. Also in the box were boxes of the candy and the opportunity to send off for a 2-sided Nerds bowl. The bowl had a Nerd gate, so you could have the 2 flavors in separate compartments or separate the milk from the cereal and then open the gate to mix them. For reasons unknown, the cereal was discontinued after 1 year, never to be seen again.
And I'm never seen again.
Reptar Crunch.
Reptar, the perfect children's toy!
Released in 1999 as a tie-in for the Rugrats Go Reptar movie, Reptar Crunch was one of the more limited edition cereals on this list. The sweet breakfast treat were colored and sweetened Rice Krispies and consisted of purple crispy rice cereal and green Reptar-shaped pieces. The thing that made this cereal so great was a combination of the branding and the super limited window for Rugrats fans to get their hands on it. Reptar Crunch launched on August 1st, 1999 and was discontinued on September 15th the same year. The cereal is gone, but Reptar candy can still sometimes be found packaged in cereal box-shaped tins, begging the question, why not bring the cereal back?
Bring it back at once!
Cinnamon Mini Buns.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Kellogg's introduced Cinnamon Mini Buns cereal in 1991 with great success. With ad campaigns touting the lines, eating 70 cinnamon buns can be nutritious, and nutrition news that's easy for your kids to swallow. Kellogg's may have oversold the healthy aspect of the cereal, but that didn't stop it from becoming hugely popular. The cereal in its original form only lasted for 2 years before being rebranded as Mini Swirls Cinnamon Bun Cereal. While this altered and rebranded version of the cereal continued until 2009, the original recipe remains a favorite for cereal fans and frequently ranks highly in lists of cereals that need to be resurrected.
Now resurrect.
Marshmallow Krispies.
Marshmallow.
While a simple twist on the original Rice Krispies, the Marshmallow Krispies cereal was essentially deconstructed Rice Krispie treats. This Kellogg's creation was introduced in 1982 and featured the crispy rice puffs we all know and love alongside marshmallows. The box spoke directly to the kids, saying, "Tell your mom that new Marshmallow Krispies cereal has less sugar than most other ready sweetened cereal." The marshmallow fad soon burned out when consumers turned on the idea of such a sweet addition to what should be breakfast.
It's too sweet.
Hidden treasures.
It looks like treasure.
Oh, it is to me.
A literal treasure hunt in a bowl, Hidden Treasures was launched by General Mills in 1993 and turned a morning bowl of cereal into a game of hide and seek. The sweetened corn squares were filled with fruity icing that was either grape, cherry, or orange flavored. The trick was that not every piece was filled, hence the hunt.
Hunt me, somebody hunt me!
It was extremely short-lived and was discontinued in 1995. It had such a short shelf life that only 2 commercials were produced.
Wow, that was short.
First time here? Well, what are you waiting for? Take a quick second to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much. Sprinkle Spangles.
All right, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Okay, are we done?
Comprising of star-shaped pieces that were covered in brightly colored sprinkles, the taste was compared to sugar cookies in a bowl. The cereal had its own mascot, the Sprinkle Genie, which was voiced by Dom DeLuise, and had the catchphrase,
You wish it, I dish it.
and Sprinkle Genie would appear in front of kids who wished for sprinkles for breakfast. Sprinkle Spangles retired in 1998, and despite its divisive popularity, people still wish for it to come back. Although, considering the nutritional value of the sugary stars, it's probably unlikely.
You don't like it?
Nickelodeon Green Slime.
Slime?
Of all the cereals, promotional tie-in cereals have the biggest potential for being crazy. Nickelodeon's Green Slime cereal is no exception. Released in 2003 as a promotion for the Kids' Choice Awards, the cereal featured green and orange pieces. The green pieces were supposedly slime-shaped corn puffs, while the orange pieces were marshmallow approximations of the Nickelodeon logo. This year, Kellogg's and Nickelodeon collaborated to produce a similarly themed cereal. The limited-time Apple Jacks and Green Slime Fusion cereal featured green and orange 3-grain loops that turned the milk green and had a sweet apple flavor.
The green ones taste like apple-flavored paint.
Ice cream cones.
Ice cream cone.
Released in 1986, ice cream cone cereal was literally what it sounds like.
This is exactly how I imagined it.
With tiny ice cream cone-shaped pieces and round ice cream scoop pieces, the cereal came in 2 flavors, vanilla and chocolate chip. The pieces actually did fit together to create miniature ice cream cones. The cereal's mascot was Ice Cream Cone Jones, who rode his bicycle round giving out cereal to kids. Described as tasting similar to Cookie Crisp, with the cones tasting just like ice cream cones, the scoops were deemed too sweet to eat by themselves. It was discontinued in just under a year.
That was quick.
Banana Frosted Flakes.
Banana!
In 1981, Kellogg's introduced a new cereal to stand alongside what at the time was still called Sugar Frosted Flakes, and featured Tony the Tiger donning a straw hat and surrounded by bunches of bananas and claiming, "My new Kellogg's Banana Frosted Flakes have real appeal." Discontinued in 1984, but like many of the cereals on this list, Kellogg's brought back a similarly flavored cereal called Banana Cream Frosted Flakes. The cereal was more dessert-like than the original, and the box stated it was naturally flavored with other natural flavors. Naturally. Vanilly Crunch.
Cap'n Crunch over a foundation of Rice Krispies with a perimeter of shredded wheat.
Cap'n Crunch has fronted arguably the most different varieties of cereal. One of those from the 1970s was Vanilly Crunch, described on the box as the cereal that tastes like a crunchy birthday cake. The box also explained that Vanilly Crunch came about when a bowl of birthday cake batter was knocked into the original recipe cereal. Sadly, Vanilly Crunch didn't make it past the early 70s before being discontinued.
I didn't make it!
Crazy Cow.
Shove a face, you crazy cow.
Crazy Cow was a cereal that knew what its most marketable attribute was, and that attribute was flavored cereal milk. Making its debut in the 1970s, Crazy Cow was artificially flavored and created its flavored milk with a drink mix that coated the multigrain cereal, which dissolved over time. The cereal received a boost in popularity when it began offering collectible Star Wars trading cards in boxes, but ultimately never left the 70s.
Heaven?
No.
The 70s!
Waffelos.
Waffle?
Waffelos weren't waffle-shaped, they were more like squared Cheerios. The cereal debuted in 1979 and came in 2 different varieties, maple syrup and blueberry. The mascot for Waffelos was Waffello Bill, a Yosemite Sam knockoff who rounded up blueberry critters to make the blueberry-flavored variety, and possible creatures called Waffelos to make the maple syrup kind. That's right, this cereal is made from living creatures. Waffello Bill also had a guitar-playing horse that was the sensible foil to Bill's overeager need for cereal. Waffelos was discontinued in 1982, although similar products can still be found on supermarket shelves.
Okay, maybe there is a little bit of hope.
S'mores Crunch.
Can we make s'mores?
S'mores?
Yeah, s'mores.
Creating a cereal out of everyone's favorite campfire snack, s'mores, is a no-brainer. Inside the box were chocolate-flavored graham cracker pieces and bite-sized marshmallows that came together to create a perfectly balanced sweet s'mores cereal. The cereal was rebranded as S'mores Grahams, but S'mores Crunch was ultimately discontinued in 1992. Kellogg's launched their version in the early 2000s as S'mores, but it was short-lived and widely regarded as a vastly inferior version of the 1982 classic.
Yeah, that is better, isn't it?
C-3POs.
I am C-3PO.
The mega merchandising machine that is Star Wars has always been turning out vaguely franchise-related products, including this cereal that came out right after the original trilogy was finished. The cereal itself wasn't the usual colorful, overly sugary explosion of the typical 80s promotional cereals. Instead, it was basically Cheerios in the shape of a figure 8. The box featured everyone's favorite shiny gold droid, with actor Anthony Daniels providing the voice for the commercials, and offers in the box such as Rebel rockets, trading cards, and cut-out character masks. The cereal didn't last long, though, and was discontinued in 1986.
Can't believe he's gone.
Smurf Berry Crunch.
You like to use the extremely imprecise term Smurf for just about everything.
Smurf, exactly.
The success of the Smurfs cartoon series led to multiple Smurf-inspired kinds of cereal in the early 1980s, the first of which was Smurf Berry Crunch. The fruity round balls were brightly colored red and purple wheat, oat, and corn puffs that imitated the on-screen favorite food of the pint-sized cartoon characters. The cereal was discontinued in 1987, but not before a young Jack Black appeared in a commercial for the crunchy berries as an excited kid being pulled along in a red wagon. Black said the ad caused his stock to plummet at school, so he was probably relieved when it was discontinued.
Once again, no offense.
Powdered donuts.
Okay, well, they're still donuts.
Deceptively simple, powdered donut cereal hit shelves in 1980. Looking like fat Cheerios dusted with powdered sugar, the cereal was a sweet but not overly sugary breakfast treat that pretty accurately imitated powdered donuts. Due to the forgettable nature of the cereal and the kind of boring branding, powdered donuts coasted along for nearly a decade before being quietly discontinued in 1989. Those that remember it do so fondly, but the idea of a powdered donut cereal seems destined to stay in the past.
Keep the past in the past.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cereal.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Inspired by everyone's favorite heroes in a shell, the 1989 TMNT cereal was essentially Chex with marshmallows. The marshmallows were shaped as the sewer dwellers' weapons, and of course, their favorite food, pizza. The Chex-like pieces were billed as sweetened ninja nets, and fans could collect trading cards in the boxes as well as send off for other TMNT-themed merchandise, including holographic t-shirts. There were even green-colored slime pouches included in the box that could be used to top the cereal. While fun and tasty, the cereal couldn't survive the 1990s and was ultimately retired to the sewers in 1995.
Yeah, that's the end of the titles.
Magic Puffs.
Magic.
Yes.
Introduced in 1974, Magic Puffs were sweetened corn puffs that were deliciously simple. The mascot for the cereal was an anthropomorphic purple and yellow magic hat that beamed down at the cereal from above. The back of the box boldly exclaimed, "Now inside, it's magic for you." Almost all of the branding for the cereal focused on the included trick over the actual cereal.
It was magical.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Cereal.
Ready, Bill?
Ready, Ted.
Nothing says the late 80s and early 90s like Bill and Ted, and that was reinforced by this short-lived tie-in cereal. Featuring cinnamon-flavored toasted oat squares and music note-shaped marshmallows, the cereal claimed to be a most awesome breakfast adventure. As with so many cereals from the 80s and 90s, the main reason to buy the Bill and Ted cereal was for all the promotional offers and giveaways that you could collect. Items like postcards featuring the duo's trips through time and a cassette holder in the shape of their iconic phone booths were only available through the cereal. The time-traveling cereal was eventually discontinued in 1999, but did make an appearance in the Legacy sequel film in 2020. Most awesome indeed. We're serving up more great videos. Just tap or click, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell to join our notification squad.